out here at the Hobart Food Forest today. Always thankful to spend time out here. And today I will be planting 3 fruit trees we picked up from Carpentino's brothers in Kent, Washington. They have some decent fruit trees, not really any type of unique or exotic varieties, but picked up this dwarf Bartlett pear. I'm gonna plant it here in this hole. Got a persimmon right there, Asian pear, unknown variety of pear there, and then we have a Anjou, dwarf Anjou pear there as well, which is going in that hole. And then the last tree we have is a semi-dwarf plum tree, which will be going in this little spot over here, but I'm gonna have to build it up a little bit because you can already see there's standing water right there, and most fruit trees do not like to be in those conditions. So obviously the first thing you need to do when planting a fruit tree is figure out where you want to plant it in your garden, your food forest, your field, homestead, wherever you may be planting at, guerrilla garden, etc. You want to make sure it's a spot that'll get a good amount of sun throughout the day, because obviously fruit trees need a good amount of sun, probably at least 6 to 8 hours, in order to get fruit and to make a good crop for you. In this spot, so the sun kind of goes like that throughout the day, so this is a really great spot to plant a fruit tree. So once you have your spot figured out, again, somewhere that gets a lot of sun, and somewhere where the roots of the fruit tree aren't going to get waterlogged is also important. So like that spot down there where that plum tree is going, I'm gonna have to build it up a little bit to make sure those roots aren't just being soaked by water. And then you need to obviously then get a shovel or some sort of digging instrument, and I really like this one. It's all steel, has a lifetime warranty, and just really strong and versatile shovel, and I've just really enjoyed being able to use that. So you want to make the hole at least a couple times bigger than what your fruit tree is going to actually be, so you give the roots a good amount of area to be able to spread and grow. And then you just want to fill it back in with the native soil. You don't want to add potting soil or fertilizer or anything like that when you're starting your fruit trees, because it won't encourage root growth, which we want. We want these roots to spread out and just have a really strong foundation to give us some good fruit in the years to come. So use the native soil that you dug out, fill it back in, make sure again we got plenty of room for the roots to spread out. As you can see, there's a good amount of room on each side. So let's go ahead and I'll try to do that with my foot while I film here. It's starting to rain, so this is like perfect. And then I'm just gonna take out that rock just to make it a little easier to get it compacted. And now you can see it's just standing up by itself right now, and just going around filling in all the dirt. Once I get in a little bit more, I'm gonna just go around and stamp it. Oh, sorry, bud. Sorry, wormy. Stamp it down with my foot. You want to make sure you get out any type of air pockets or anything like that might be around the fruit tree. Don't want any type of air pockets, like I said. So we got that nice and packed down, and now we're gonna add some more. There's actually was a lot of wood chips around this one. And then you don't want to, where it's grafted this point there, you don't want to make sure the soil or your wood chips get above that level. So I'm gonna leave it, the dirt, a little bit below that, add some more dirt in there, and then we'll bring in some wood chips after. But again, really simple process. It's not rocket science, and fruit trees can be quite low maintenance, potentially, especially if it's, you know, a variety that, or a type of tree that does really well in your climate. Plum trees in particular seem to grow really well here, so that's why I picked up 2 of those. And this is just, and that plum variety is just one I don't have, and so it'd be exciting to get another plum variety because we have 3 right now. That's our 4th one. So, and then you can see it looks pretty good, pretty straight. And I need to get some type of you know, permanent metal tag, not this janky plastic tag, but it is nice to know what type of tree you planted for sure. Okay, so boom, we got our, I'm gonna put a little more soil because that's just not super sturdy. But as you can see, it's not a very complicated or long process at all. Figure out where you want to plant, dig your hole, plant your fruit tree, cover it with soil, tamp it down so it's in there really well, getting rid of the air pockets. And if you have cardboard, that's even better once your soil's up to the height that you want it. And again, you don't want to cover this, go any higher than where this little grafting union or node is. Once that's done, if you have cardboard, it's even better to put a nice, just kind of layer around the whole tree and then cover it with wood chips, and boom, that's all you need to do. And obviously the earlier in the year you could plant this, the better. Winter time's better. It's early spring now, so not ideal, but it's still not very warm out or anything like that. Because if you plant them in the winter time, it obviously just gives them a little bit more time to get established to their new home and whatnot. And okay, how's that? That's pretty decent, actually. That's pretty decent. Okay, got it nice and compacted. Boom, that's how you plant a fruit tree. Just a really rewarding thing to do because, you know, in a couple years we'll hopefully be getting some delicious Bartlett pears from this. And it's one of the great things about planting fruit trees and just fruiting perennials in general is once you plant them, it's all the work, the biggest work has already been done is the planting. And again, that's, you know, I did this, you know, you could plant a tree easily in 5 minutes from start to finish, and they're going to give you, you know, delicious fruit for many years to come. Obviously a lot higher quality than you could get at any store, and you can grow it organically. It's going to be local. You know exactly what went into it, and you know potentially the most work that's going to be required is maybe giving it you know, a nice dressing of compost, you know, in the spring or something before it really starts taking off. And then, you know, pruning if it needs to in the winter. So highly encourage you to plant fruit trees wherever you can because they are really awesome. Peace, much love. Alright, I just wanted to show y'all what the fruit trees look like. I got all 3 of them planted, the 2 pears and the 1 plum tree. with wood chips. So here's our semi-dwarf Brooks prune, which is interesting because the bag said it was a plum, but that's alright. So I also have a Brooks prune in the back. I don't think, well, which is actually, yeah, probably some semi-dwarf as well. And then so here is our dwarf Anjou pear. Nice little base of wood chips around it. Like I was saying before, it's preferable if you have cardboard under this ring of wood chips. Just helps with, you know, keeping the weeds suppressed even longer. Don't usually agree with suppressing things, but with weeds, I think it's okay. And then here's our dwarf Bartlett, early harvest season, vigorous tree. Medium to large skin color green and ripens to yellow pear, sweet and tender. That sounds delicious. So again, really simple process, and training right now. If it was, you know, maybe not if we didn't have rain in the forecast, I would be giving these some water, but as you can see, these wood chips just themselves have a lot of moisture in them, so not too worried about that. Get outside and plant fruit trees or vegetables or fruit, whatever you can. I highly recommend it. Peace, much love.